yogis, welcome. I see some of you, Joanna and Anne. Welcome. Everybody else, thank you for being here. It's Natalia. We didn't meet before. If it's your first time taking this class, you know we do a lot of resting in here. So that's why I asked that you have. Hi, Dalgir. I asked that you have two bed pillows. I have my two bolsters and a blanket with you. And that's all we're gonna use through class today. So when you're ready, you can come to sit comfortably on a pillow or on the floor with crossed legs. Once you do that, notice if you're rounding your spine and see if you can instead try to lengthen so that the spine rises up the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head. You can put your hands in a mudra, Yana mudra, palms facing down or up. I assume that you have, of course, experienced all the things that are happening in the world, right? They have touched every single one of us, and they shake us up and they ask that we awaken to things that maybe we had not noticed before. And that makes us very active, right? We have the need to tend to our phones to check what's happening and the news to check what has changed, maybe several times a day and maybe several times within an hour. And all of that can put us in a very reactive state, right? There is a fight or flight mode of constant needing to solve, needing to find out and whatnot, right? And so this class is the complete opposite of all those things. If you have a phone with you, put it on mute. Hopefully it's somewhere where you don't need to think about it. And I'm going to ask you to maybe invite your own self. I invite you all to turn into a more meditative state and disconnect and contemplate what is happening at the level of the mind, contemplate how you feel in your physical body right now, and perhaps reset, cleanse, start over, right? Remove the things that don't belong in this body. And of course, notice everything that is happening because it is real. It is life. It is completely heartfelt. But can you separate for moments to digest and process? So that is what I ask from you today. Contemplate the moment as is. And try to find ease and comfort through the body. Shoulders back behind you. Close the eyes if you haven't already. Take a deep breath into your nose. Open mouth, sigh it out. Inhale deeply through the nose. Open mouth, sigh it out. And again, inhale deeply through the nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Continue to breathe, but let go of control over your breath. Take a moment to acknowledge your whole entire body as is, your mind. Slow down the thought process. Do that so much that you feel the effects of that slowing down through the whole entire being. Use this moment of clarity now to set an intention for your restorative practice this evening. An affirmation, a mantra. with your intention or affirmation or mantra in mind. For those who wish to do so, please join me on an inhale for a big breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Fill up lungs with air. Exhale through the mouth. Fill the lungs. Empty out completely. The eyes closed as you turn the head to the right side as though you wanted to look over your shoulder. As you look to the right side, pull the left shoulder back and down. Notice the active traction. Take a deep breath in, gazing right. A full breath out. And then return back to center, passing over to the second side. Chin to the left shoulder, right shoulder pulls back and down. Feel that sense of stretching of two pieces pulling apart from one another. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Return your head to the center. Now interlace the hands behind your neck, elbows out to the side. First, incline your head towards your palms and arch your back slightly, fully opening through the front line of your body. Take a deep breath in, leaning back into your hands. And as you exhale, curl your spine like a cat. Elbows come together, hide the chin in between the shoulders. And now feel that back line of your body fully open, spacious. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Come back to center, finding neutral spine. Release the hands to the sides. And we're going to come to bring one knee behind us and then the other foot joins in the front. And so you may feel like you have to lean to one side to make this happen. Then maybe you need to keep your leg forward. Okay? So 1 or 2. And again, we do the same sequence we did at the center. Bring the left hand over to the right knee, left hand behind you. Look over the right shoulder. So we add a twist to the spine. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Come back to the center. Move over to the second side. Lengthen the spine. Look over the left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. Broaden the collarbones. And a full breath out. Inhale through the center, interlace the hands behind your neck, lean back. You're going to feel a little something on one hip more than the other. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, curl the spine, elbows come close together. With open back body, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Return the spine back to neutral. Release the hands behind your back and then change over to the second side. One knee will be bent back behind you. You may have to lean sideways a little bit to adjust. If that's too much, keep the leg straight forward. And again, twist over to the left side first. Look over the left shoulder. Lengthen through the spine. Take a deep breath in. This side may be completely different. Full breath out. Come back through the center. Move to your second side. Twist and turn. Lengthen through the chest. Look over shoulder. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, move back through the center. Hands behind the neck. Lean back. Open the chest. Take a deep breath in with a full open body. Full breath out. Begin to change. Curl the spine like a cat, pushing the belly to the low back. Deep breath in, elbows close together. Full breath out. Come back to neutral, look forward. Hands behind you. Extend both of your legs forward into a small straddle. Now, if as you sit here in the straddle, your spine is rounding a lot, you may want to add your blanket under to elevate the hips. That way you can find a long back. Now, reach the arms up overhead. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, turn to the left leg. Reach the hands to touch the ground. Okay? And maybe the hands are pretty close to the heel. Maybe they're halfway through. Pause right there, but feel connection through the hands on the floor. Arch the spine on the inhale, a small cow. Now curl the spine like a cat on the exhale. Inhale, arch the spine like a cow. Exhale, round the back like a cat. One more round. Inhale, arch, shoulders back. One more round, curl the spine, chin to the heart. Come back to a neutral spine. Reach the arms up overhead, deep breath in. On the exhale, bow over to the second side until the hands touch the floor. Now, pause right here. Feel traction through the fingertips. Breathe in, lift the chin, arch. Breathe out, curl the spine, chin to the heart. Two more inhales, arch. Two more exhales, curl. One more breath in. One more breath in. Come back to the center, lengthen the spine. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, hands behind your sits bones, lean back, bend your knees, and then connect the feet together. We come to Supta Baddha Konasana. So, if you are sitting straight up, we're going to do the complete opposite. You're going to curl the spine. Curl, curl, curl the spine. Feel that your intestines are moving to the back body. And then reach the hands as far forward as you can so you can hollow your body. And then maybe the head starts to hide in between the upper arm bones. Feel that as you push through the belly to the low back, you stretch the tissues that wrap around the lumbar vertebrae and the attachments to the sacrum and the pelvis. Just notice that. You may also become aware of the inner thighs. Take 3 more rounds of breath. Your next breath in, walk the hands back to neutral. Come back to a neutral spine. Cross the legs in front of you and move into a tabletop position. If you have sensitive knees, yogis, use your blanket for underneath your knees. And we're going to have 2 pillows ready. We're going to have them underneath our chest and then tabletop over it. With your hands spread on the floor, begin to rock the torso forward and back. Forward and back. And then pause at the center change. Begin to move the torso left side and right side. And notice the spine moving like a snake. Your shoulders lead, your tailbone and hips, they follow. And then pause at the center with a neutral spine. Turn the fingertips in towards the pillows. Push to the wrist and pause. This may feel like quite a lot at first. You may stay there. Maybe you lean back, keep pushing wrist onto the floor. From the wrist all the way up to the elbow, an open line of energy. Notice that. Come back to the center, neutralize the arms. And again, lean back one more time. Notice fully open energy through the forearm. One more, leaning forward if you moved. And then leaning back, coming back to that place of small tension. Return back to the center. Move the fingertips to face forward. And now walk over towards the left side. And with that, turn your knees. You're going to face the left side of your mat and then mount the right knee on top of your pillows. So there is an angle and a lift through the right side. Now you can choose to keep your hands on the floor or you can lower to your elbows all the way down. Two options, yogis. Whatever you choose to be, make sure you're comfortable and then begin to find a movement of your torso forward and back. For some of you, 2 pillows may be too much, or 2 pillows may be too little. Can you play as your body needs? After moving forward and back a couple of rounds, find a place of stillness at the center. If it would feel good for some of you to continue journeying down to the floor and putting the forehead on the ground, you can do that. It would feel good to sit back a little bit like a child's pose, you may do that. But notice what's happening at the right hip joint. I'm going to ask you to move your breath consciously to the point where your leg becomes your pelvis, right in between those two. Take 5 full cycles of breath. If any tension reflects at your jaw, unclench your teeth, soften the throat. Take one more inhalation. Take one more exhalation. And then make your way back up to your hands and one knee. Pick up the right knee of your pillow and cross it all the way over to the left side. Step the right foot on the ground. And then maybe you look over your left shoulder and see your toe back there. And in that, begin to pulse your body forward and back. Forward and back. Getting a stretch through the back of your right leg. If you're leaning a little bit to the right, you're going to intensify the stretch on the right side of your ribcage. Pulse forward and back about 5 more times. And then return both knees together to a tabletop. Inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. As you exhale, thread the needle to see your pillows right hand either stays touching the floor, you walk it further forward towards the top of your head to straighten the elbow. And you will feel from the right hip to the right pinky finger, open pathways of energy. We're going to spend here 10 breaths twisting the spine. Can you allow yourself to be curious about the positioning of your hips? Notice if you're collapsing to the right side and what it would feel to move the pelvis to the left a little bit more, or vice versa. And that may ask for the rest of your spine to adjust in a different way, finding more space, more comfort. Five more breaths, twisting the spine. Very good. Whenever you finish your 5 breaths, if your right hand walk forward, walk it back in under the shoulder, the left hand will lift towards the sky for an open twist. And on the exhale, return back to the center. Look over to the top of your mat, realign your stance. Now, we're gonna continue to do some wrist stretching now. Turn your palms to see your face and the outside of your hand to touch the ground, fingertips facing one another. So it looks like this on the ground. This may be a big stretch for some of you, so stay at the center if you need to. Straighten the elbows if they're bent. And then lean over to the right side. Keep the elbows as straight as you can. Back to center, neutral spine. Lean over to the left side. Notice what's happening at the wrist. Do that 2 more times in each direction. Trying to keep the elbows as straight as possible. They may not get there, but you're actively moving in that direction. Once you finish those 3 lean overs, return your fingertips back to neutral. Neutral spine. Walking over to the second side, hands to the outside of your mat on the right. That means the left foot will climb up the pillow. 1 or 2, and that may change, right? Because you did 2 on one side, you may not be able to do 2 on the second side. Choose to stay on your hands or lower to your elbows. Once you get there, adjust. Knee closer, further up, down, and begin to move forward and back, stimulating the joint of the hip. We target left side this time. If there is any stagnant energy or impingement, try to smooth it out. If it hurts, do not go there. And after moving forward and back a couple of times, find stillness. You may stay on elbows. Some of you will go to a child pose-like variation, puppy pose-like variation. And take 5 deep breaths, allowing for the body to experience the posture. Very good. Couple more breaths on this side. As you finish, those 5 breaths, come back to your hands, push them onto the ground, pick up the left knee and cross it all the way over to the right side. And then once the foot is all the way across, look over your right shoulder. You may see your foot back there. And begin to move forward and back. Feeling that nice long stretch down the left foot, left leg, left back of the knee. 5 more times, pulsing. And then return hips to a neutral place. Send the right arm up towards the sky for an open twist. Spread the fingertips, and with that, exhale as you thread the needle over underneath the left side. Now the left hand may walk forward to stretch the left arm even further, the elbow, the armpit. Once you get to a place that feels okay with your body, notice the hips, and if they're leaning over to one side, can you find a neutral place with the spine and hips? And take in here 10 cycles of breath. Allow for the different parts of your body that are feeling the stretch to relax, to reset, to stretch out completely. If tension comes up to the jaw, to the neck, to the back of your head, undo. Breathe. Five more breaths, twisting the spine. As you complete 5 cycles of breath, walk your left hand under the left shoulder. Right hand will go all the way up towards the sky, open twist of the spine. Exhale, return hands back to neutral, walking over until you are again over your pillows. Now, in a moment, you will decide if you want to have the 2 pillows or you would like to remove one. We're going to go to a lying position on the pelvis. So I'm going to put the bone right here, you feel it, on top of my pillows. If it is on your belly, it may push and feel bad. So you will have to slide down. And I'm going to walk my elbows far forward, let them out, turn my palms up or down. Find a nice position for your hands. If you are here and you say, oh, well, 2 pillows feels like a little too much, you remove one and you come down. A crog pose variation on the ground, crocodile pose. Your toes can be facing outwards or inwards. If you want to wiggle your hips left and right a couple of times to soften even more, you do that. And as we spend about 3 minutes in this posture, I'm going to guide you to find the breath again. For the next 3 minutes, yogis, allow your mind and your attention to move along the spine. Low back, mid back, upper back, mid back, and low back. Expansive and moving with the breath. Notice the wave-like pattern of your breath as you inhale and exhale. As you feel that wave-like pattern of your breath, you may notice the rising and falling of the spine. It comes higher and away from the earth and then closer to the earth. It lifts and rises and expands. Breathe in. Exhale, it comes down closer to the belly button, to the earth. Exhale. Moving with that breath-like pattern. A very subtle movement of the spine. We have about 15 more cycles of breath. It's a minute and a half in here. Tell your brain to be with it, to slow down, to take it easy. Imagine taking a conscious nap. Five more breaths. Take one more deep breath in. And a full exhale. Begin to move your hands underneath your shoulders. Push down and then sit back towards a child's pose position. And so you may choose to keep your pillows underneath your elbows, yogis. If two are too much, you may put one. If one is too much, you may remove it. If you go all the way down to the floor, do make sure that your forehead and elbows are touching something. Yeah? And you can keep your hands reaching forward, or maybe palms in prayer. Slide your prayer hands behind your neck. Notice the change from the previous posture, open hip, open arms, to closed hips with a little bit of pressure happening at the flexor. And then the armpits, broadening, the elbows anchoring, the palms join balance behind the head. Just a few more moments in this child's pose variation. If your palms came to the back of your neck, undo Reset. Slowly rise out of this child's pose, coming into a tabletop. Now, once you get here, begin to mobilize through the spine in the various ways that feel great for your body. You may curl, you may arch, you may round. If you're going in circles to one side, change over to the second direction. And then come back through the center, find a neutral spine. Sit back for a moment as I show you the next posture. I'm gonna turn my pillow to long setting, and I'm gonna sit on my right hip. You may need two pillows, maybe. My pillows are thicker, so they're a little too high, and that doesn't feel great for my spine. You may do the opposite thing. I'm gonna turn my torso towards my pillow, and I'm gonna twist my spine. And I'm gonna rest front body over the pillow. Now, a couple options in here. Notice that I am sitting on my pillow right now. I may not need that under my sit bones. I may need it in between my legs. And come back to my twist. Again, if you need two pillows instead, the two pillows blanketed between your legs. Some of you will love looking in the same direction as your knees. Some of you will turn the head to the opposite side. So you look away from the knees as your spine twists. Take some time to make the adjustments necessary to put your body in a comfortable, twisted, resting position. And as I mentioned at the beginning of practice, we do a lot of resting in here. There are no specific goals other than putting your system in a parasympathetic state. Can you allow that in your body? Consciously resting while in the pose. We give a break to the system. The jaw may begin to soften further, and the throat and the chest. Enter a place of contemplation. Can you witness the present moment as is? Directly experience the present moment. Witness the breath within the breath. The exhale within the exhale. Just one more minute in this side. 5 more rounds of breath. Take one more inhale. Take one more exhale. Journey, pushing from the hands, peel the spine off, and then roll onto your backs. Pause at the center just for a moment, finding a neutral spine over your pillows, and then with your own hands, move the bone of your pelvis away from your rib cage, giving a lengthening sensation to the low back. Once that feels long and spacious, interlace the fingertips and reach them up above your head. Let the shoulders come close to the ears. Don't feel like you're squeezing too hard, but rather a relaxing stretch, long and relaxing. Take 3 breaths in this pose. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale. Open mouth, breath out. One more inhale. On the exhale, slide your hands forward. Push to the elbows and the hands to turn over until you adjust. Left hip against your 1 or 2 pillows. Turn the torso towards the earth. Knees stack over the other. Maybe one leg is long. Maybe drop in between. If some of you love twisting the head away from the knees, you could do that. But let there be no strain, no pain, no hurting in the body. Once you find the best position for your hips, pause there. Just come back to that restorative, meditative state. Not much has changed, really. Allow yourself the experience of now. As simple as it could be, as complex as it may appear. Contemplate. Observe. If your mind again happens to get quite busy, distracted, remember where you are now. Reset. Just a minute left. Five more inhales, five more exhales. Take a deep breath in, fill up with air. Full breath out, exhale. Push down to come off your props. Move pillows out to one side. And then make your way to lie on your back flat on the ground. Some of you will enjoy having your blanket underneath the head. But if it makes your chin kind of close completely at the throat, then maybe you will want to remove it or pull the shoulders down. One or two pillows will slide under the pelvis. So I push through my feet and I slide my pillow underneath my sit bones. Pull away, lengthen the spine. If one is not enough, two, make it happen. Place the arms in a nice, juicy place for your body and pause in this bridge pose. We'll take the first 10 deep breaths at neutral hips and legs. Counting in your head 10 cycles of breath. As you complete 10 breaths, yogis, left ankle on top of the right knee for a figure four. You may rock the hips left and right side if that's nice in your hips. After doing that several times, find a neutral spine. Take the next 10 rounds of breath with left knee in a figure four. Once you are done with 10, change over to the second side. Right ankle on top of left knee. You may wiggle hips first. And then once you feel well anchored, 10 breaths with the right knee in a figure four. As you finish those 10, both feet on the ground, push through the hips to remove your pillow and then push it out to the side. Once the pillow is on the side, bring your feet together and adjust both pillows, guys, close to the thighs and ankles so you can let the knees fall over your pillows. Some of you will have to fold the pillows in half, maybe 3 pillows, maybe 4. This will be the final posture, the longest one we've been on, about 5 minutes in here. Arms out to the sides, above the head, on the belly. If you want to change halfway through the positioning of your arms, that's totally fine. To make sure that you're able to stay well reclined for the next 5 minutes. This really does not feel good in your body. You can also stretch the legs out in Shavasana with pillows under the knee or no pillows. For 5 minutes, contemplate your body in silence. Can you welcome ease while in silence? And can you control the overstimulation of your brain? Jaw is soft. The earth takes your weight. You'll feel weightless. Deepen your breath. Witness the energy that has been reestablished in your system. Keep the eyes closed as you reach the hands towards the knees. And with your hands, help the knees come back together. Draw the knees in towards your chest and begin to rub your body left and right side. Transition slowly. After walking from side to side and massaging your back a few times, roll to your favorite side into a slippers position. Make a pause there and then rise. Come back to sit in a comfortable position with a long spine for a closing chant. Feel the body, within the body, the breath, within the body, the mind, and a consciousness that expands beyond the physical body. Join the palms together at the center of the heart. Bow the chin gently to the heart. Join me on an inhale for Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. To the inner knowing that lives within all beings, Namaste. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. Please let me know if you have any questions. Send me a message, unmute yourself. I hope to see you next time. I'll be back next Sunday at the same time for restorative. But do not hesitate to restore yourself while you're not taking class, right? Outside of here, it's necessary too. Okay. That's it. Let me know if you have questions. It's Natalia. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, Joanna, Anne, Jane, Ashley, Jessica, Michaela, Star. Thank you.
Right on time. I'm quite hungry.